Did you know that the healthiest way to produce and consume wine is through biodynamic practices? Well, I'm going to tell you all about it. First of all, what is biodynamics? It is a holistic, ecological, and ethical approach to farming, gardening, food, and nutrition. It is rooted in the work of philosopher and scientist Dr. Rudolf Steiner since the 1920s. The wine industry is one of the most important polluters, which is why there has been a growing public concern over climate change. Thanks to this, there has been a shift since the 1990s towards more sustainable production of the food and wine sector. We can also say that biodynamic practices are synonymous with primitive agriculture. There are three main principles in the production of biodynamic wines. The first one is to work in rhythm with the earth and the cosmos. We observe the rhythms and cycles of the earth, sun, moon, stars, and planets to help us understand the influence that they have on the growth and development of plants. The second principle is the need to recycle organic matter from land use through cultivation techniques. For example, organic matter can be manure, slurry, or waste. Lastly, it is important to transform the organic matter into compost or herbal preparations such as nettles or valerian juice. This organic matter will act as a fertilizer. Biodynamic wines usually use the 500 and 501 preparations. They both use cow horns either filled with cow manure for the 500 preparations, which will impact the roots, or filled with silica for the 501 preparation, and this will affect the light. To prepare them, you fill the cow horns with the product, plant it underground, and remove it after 6 to 9 months. Once the product has been recovered from the soil, it is time to dynamize it and spray it on the vines. These preparations are treatments that impact the vine's immune system. To conclude this introduction, biodynamic wines have developed over the years, but there is still a delay. It is due to the lack of regulation at a global level. The only certifications which exist are firstly the organic one, and secondly the biodynamic one, guaranteed by the Demeter standard established in 1928. It is important to note that to be biodynamic, you first have to be organic.
For the next part, we have the honor of introducing Mr. Nicolas Joly for a short interview. He is considered the father of biodynamism in France since already 40 years. Welcome to his exceptional vineyard in the Pays de la Loire region called La Coulée de Séran.
Alors, la pratique de la biodynamie doit d'abord se comprendre globalement, c'est-à-dire il faut comprendre ce qui se passe actuellement. La vie descend moins bien sur Terre parce qu'il y a beaucoup de pollution hertzienne dont on ne parle jamais. C'est beaucoup plus grave que le diesel. Donc la Terre reçoit la vie parce qu'elle est un membre du système solaire. C'est-à-dire que la Terre est un don, reçoit comme don la vie. Donc, une fois qu'on a compris ça, on peut s'attacher à son lieu et voir comment faire parler le mieux possible le lieu. Et Rudolf Steiner n'a jamais donné la biodynamie pour qu'elle soit une recette. Il a donné la biodynamie, je dirais, comme base de départ d'une compréhension d'un système invisible qui donne vie à la Terre.
It is important to know that biodynamic wines have a higher production cost than conventional wines. The cost differences have nothing to do with the quality of the wines itself, but instead it can be explained by the two following factors: vineyard costs and winemaking costs. Vineyard costs refer to all the different aspects involving the operations, harvest, and certification fees. Among these costs, labor is the one that contributes the most to this increase, since the use of machines and pesticides is not allowed during the harvesting process. The winemaker has to compensate for this by employing more workers in order to complete all the steps of this very detailed process. Some winemakers claim that producing biodynamic wines has increased their workload by 30% compared to traditional viticulture. The main advantage is that biodynamic wines benefit from a premium, directly related to the label and certification. Their sale price is higher than traditional wines of the same quality, with an average sales price being around 15% higher than their traditional counterparts.